All right, everybody. Scott Pierce here at Listings to Leads. Welcome to the call. This is going to be a banger. So hopefully you're all ready to go, wide awake and bushy-tailed. Go ahead and let me know that you are seeing me, hearing me. Okay, everything looks clear. Everything looks good to go. And we are going to have a phenomenal call today. I promise you. You're going to learn a lot. If you're a client, let me know if you're a client or not. So if you're not a client, welcome. Love to have you with us. You're going to learn a lot. We don't do sales calls. These are all working calls, learning calls, designed really for our clients. But if you're not a client and you're just checking it out, you're going to learn a lot as well. So Brian, awesome. I don't recognize your name, Brian. I apologize if I should, but welcome. Thank you for chiming in. Let's just give it a few seconds here for people coming in. But I've got a brand spanking new presentation I'm going to be laying on you, and then I'm going to make a PDF. Actually, I got the PDF. Going to have one of my designers finish it up. I use Gamma. I love Gamma to create it. And if you ever create PDFs, like you may create a local relocation PDF, you can run those as ads through Listings to Leads. I've actually done calls on that. I think every week or two we do a call for the PDF guides, and then in that call, I actually walk through how to create. You can do Google, but in particular, Facebook, Meta, Instagram lead ads. And then you can get some great ideas on how to promote those via Instagram stories, TikTok as well with that webinar. So go ahead and everybody, come on. I see a lot of people on the call. I want you to exercise those fingers, get your little gray cells activated, because this is going to be, I'm telling you, this is going to be a good one. I'm telling you right now, you are going to want to pay attention. If you got the ability to log in and listen, that would be even better. I know Brian's not the only one here, so come on, let's go. Put I'm alive if you're not sure if you're a client, and that way we will all be motivated together. All right, so I am at listingstoleads.com, and if you check out, so JJ, 4 listings in 6 weeks using the Listings to Leads listing presentation. Scott Murray, he used the expired version, put $2.7 million into the pipeline in like 3 days of door knocking 12 doors. JJ was texting and calling. Right here. Oh man, what's her name? Terry. Brand. All 3 of these people. Well, actually, Scott Murray's not new, but JJ was new. Like she's 20 years old, 21 maybe. And this woman here was a career veteran in the Coast Guard out of Alaska, moved to Florida where her daughter lives, didn't know anybody. And you signed up for Listings to Leads on a Thursday or a Wednesday, had a listing presentation the next day, used the listing presentation in Listings to Leads, had the client or had the seller at that point, the homeowner, ask her, like, during the presentation, where do I sign? Where do I sign? All right, where do I sign? John, they're right on the webpage, they're right on the homepage. So you don't even log in to see them. But we do have longer versions of them, which I'll give you access to here in a little bit. They're in our school. So if you're in our school, they're there. And I'll show you where they're at in a little bit. And then they're also like on our YouTube channel. If you go to youtube.com, and I'll show you how to get there inside of your account. All right. When you log in, you're going to see this pop up. And I get it. You log in, you want to go do something, and you just want to get it done. You're not interested necessarily in something else to knock you off your track. But later, log in, and I'm going to walk you through it real quickly here, because this completely relates to what we're talking about today. You're going to see on this pop-up, it says new email blast for seller leads and homeowners and buyer leads, which I'm not going to discuss today. And it's related to the NAR pending home sales for January 2026. Now, I need to update this because we've got a new one since then. So now there's 2 of them if you haven't used them. And it says here, just scroll down the dashboard to the email blast or click here for more information. That's going to take you to the mastermind group where there's a little bit of information, but we will forego that because I'm going to show you right now. And this absolutely relates to the listing presentation, and you're going to get it, but we're going to talk more about it. So there's 2 emails, right, related to the fact that rates have dipped below 6%. And there's an email for the buyers. There's an email for the sellers. Now, if you want to combine them into one, you can, but then it gets really long. The messaging becomes a little bit obfuscated. And so that's why we break them out. And if I click on the headline for the one that says seller leads and homeowners, you will see why this relates to what we're talking about today, which is the listing presentation. There's an email, and it'll drop you into the editor. You can send this through Follow-Up Boss. You can send it through Bold, Lofty, whatever CRM you've got. You can send it through Listings to Leads. And notice these links. Now, in the preview, they're clickable, but these are linking to the 100 plus point home marketing plan in your Listings to Leads account that's branded to you. You could have literally have signed up 5 minutes ago and access this email. And as long as you put in your logo, your photo, you got your brand colors, everything is going to be dialed in to you. It's going to look amazing. And again, we're in an editor. So if I want to edit this a little bit, I can. And what the email is doing is just letting the sellers know that, hey, rates just dropped below 6%. And then we let them know, why does this matter to you if you're a homeowner thinking about selling at some point in 2026? Well, the reason is now that the rates are below 6%, it's more affordable for buyers. On the monthly side, on the monthly payment side, it's more affordable for buyers. That psychological threshold going from a 6 to a 5 is powerful. And the spring rush is going to be coming up soon. So the spring market, the standard, the historical spring selling season, buying season will be coming soon. And so if you're thinking about selling, I want to offer you, and this is you in the email talking to your seller leads, the homeowners in your database, the ultimate guide to selling your home. So that is a PDF that is inside of your Listings to Leads account. I'll show you that a little bit later. It's right here under PDF guides. And then you're offering a custom 100 plus point home marketing plan for their home. And then it says right below, you can view my basic 100 plus point home marketing plan here. And then there's a link. So if I scroll up and if I click the preview tab, right there's preview, these links are clickable and it goes right to your branded marketing plan. And so that's one of the absolutely powerful aspects of Listings to Leads is the ability to get this to homeowners in your database, on social media, via text message, via email. Right there, look at that. That link is clickable to the single property website for one of my listings, where they can see I do videos, I do 3D tours, professional photos. I've got an area video, right? All sorts of great stuff in my Listings to Lead single property website. They can scan the QR code, or online, they can actually click it. And as they go through it, they can see not just about me, because do they care about me? Yeah, they do. But what do they really want to know? They want to know, how are you going to get my home sold? Why are you different from every other agent out there? I get postcards, I get this, I get that from other agents. How are you different? So instead of making them jump through a bunch of hoops, we want to be as transparent as possible with our audiences, with our database, and actually just show them. All right. If you're from Missouri, you know it. It's called the show me state, not the tell me state. People want to be shown, not told. And so we're able to sit here and show people, right, our client reviews, right? You can bring in your client reviews from Google, from Testimonial Tree, from Zillow automatically. You can add them from any other source to get them on this page right here. So as these homeowners, right, get your email, and they click the link in the email to look at your 100 plus point home marketing plan from listings to leads, they can access the single property website. They can access your client reviews. They can click or scan this right here, download a guide. So I got 12 mistakes to avoid, 5 dangers, first time seller's guide. And again, all of them are completely branded to you, your logo, your picture, your colors, everything. Again, you could have literally have signed up 5 minutes ago. And as long as you uploaded your logo, your picture, and so on, all of this is dialed in and ready to go. Pretty cool, huh? Let me know. Let me know if you can see how powerful that would be. So to send this through listings to leads, under edit, you can select your leads. So I've got, nope, not buyer leads. I want to send it to, seller leads. Okay, I guess I had it right. Seller leads. And then I can either schedule the email to go out a little bit later, or I can send it. I can edit it first. I can send a test email, which I always recommend. Always send a test email first. If you want to send it through another CRM, like you got Lofty, you got Bold, you got Follow Up Boss, you got 2 options. You click copy code. All right, you can click copy code, go to your CRM, and then you're going to click a little button in the editor called source or HTML, drop it in, click that button again, and boom, you're good to go. The easier way is just copy this. Just literally just copy it, go to your CRM and drop it in. Super easy. The subject line is right here. Under edit, right there. Subject line. You can edit this. You can edit any of this you want. Just don't edit the link. Okay. Make sure you don't edit the link. And then everything should be good to go. Always make sure to send a test email, like I mentioned. And so there's another one right here. So if you haven't sent this one yet, I think it's still fine. Pending home sales. So again, I can see here when I mouse over it, send to buyers and then send to sellers. Don't send them out like the same day or one day apart. Maybe put 3 to 4 days, 2 to 3 days in between them. So this one, again, it sits in the editor. I can click preview. And here we're letting them know that pending home sales were down nationally, all right, 0.8%. Regionally, we show the regionals. Hey, if you want to go to AI and have it do it for your local area, you can. One edit I would make, because here's what I would do. I would do this. For more information on our local, oh my God, how do you spell local? LOCAL. There you go, local area. Or if you're going to say, for more information on Folsom, California, please reply back and I'll send you the full report. And you can go to ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, right? Have it write up a quick, you just drop this email and say, please give me the information for Folsom, California. And that way you have a nice, beefy email that you could then use this as a engagement opportunity. So if I just want to show you examples of editing and some things you might think of. But back here, so the email in general, all right, again, we're going to promote the 100 plus point home marketing plan, your listing presentation, all right, the marketing plan for the listing presentation. And so what we're doing here is we're saying, what does this mean for homeowners that are going to be selling in 2026? Well, what it means is that you got to have a strong marketing plan. All right. You got to have the best marketing plan in the industry to make sure that we get your home shown to as many people as possible across all platforms to get you the strongest offers. And then again, view my 100 plus point home marketing plan. It goes right there again, and they can go through it just like we did a little bit earlier. And again, we're offering them some a custom version of it where it features their home, And then we're offering them the ultimate guide to selling your home. And if I wanted to change that to say, get the 5 dangers to overpricing your home, or whatever, I just figure the ultimate guide. It's 100 pages long, so it's pretty beefy. It's pretty involved, and it's almost a little bit overwhelming, which can be good because that way, again, it leaves more room for you to add value to the conversation, right? And Jason says that is so cool. It is so cool. It's very, very cool. All right, Jason, are you good as far as those videos? And again, I'm going to show you a little bit later where there's a longer version of a few of those. So get these out to your database. Get them out to your database. This is one of the ways, and I think one of the easiest and one of the most powerful ways to get that listing presentation in front of people. And if you think about it, for every 100 people, or every 100 sellers, at least 100 homeowners in your database, 5 to 7 or 8, 5 to 7 maybe, are probably going to be selling this year. And so, as you can see with these emails, and we try to come up with an email based on what is going on in the industry, going on in real estate, going on in the economy every couple of weeks, so that we are consistently, very naturally staying in front of our homeowners, staying in front of our seller leads with topical content, with relevant content, and then tying it back to, all right, because of this, because of X. And if you're thinking about selling, here is what you're going to need. And here is the next steps that we can take, i.e., creating that custom marketing plan, and maybe offering a PDF guide like the ultimate guide to selling a home. All right. All right. Awesome. Jason says, I'm on school looking for it now. Jason, what are you looking for in particular? So let's do this. Let's go just real briefly, because you might send those emails out today. Somebody may reply back and say, hey, I would love to get that guide from you. So let me just show you real quickly on the guide. Then we're going to get into the listing presentations. So if I go to PDF guides, and I'm just going to, I'm going to go to seller leads. And let's see, it might be right under recommended. It should be. If it's not, I got to tell my team, get their act together. Yeah, that should be under. Anyways, I'm going to type in ultimate. There's a lot of guides, so I could have just scrolled down to find it, but right there, ultimate guide to selling your home. I would send them the landing page. Don't send them the guide. It's 100 pages long. It's going to be too big, and it's not going to be able to go get through. Probably, you probably won't even be able to upload it. Now, if you know how to download it into like Google Drive, and you want to send a link to the Google Drive off of your Google Drive account, people do that. But it's also just as easy to say, send them the landing page and just say, hey, just go and put your name and email in there, and it will download right away for you. And then you can let them know if you have any questions about it. And the benefit of that is you also know when they downloaded and ostensibly looked and read it. Now, it's 100 pages long, so they're probably not going to be able to read the whole thing. And that is, again, where you're going to be able to come in and add value. All right. So now what's going to happen if they tell you that they want a custom version? What's going to happen? What do you do if they say, hey, I want a custom version of that marketing plan? So this dives perfectly into a couple of things. When you got a listing presentation coming up, the ability to create a 27-page online and print version featuring the home, like this right here, featuring their home, their name and address. It's a little bit blurry maybe, but you can kind of tell there if you look at my camera. That's the name of the homeowner and the address right there on the cover. All right. Robert Wilson, 857 Perry Lane, Rockland, California. And as I flip through here, that's his home in every image. And when he scans that QR code, his home is going to come up. When he clicks on the link, his home is going to come up. When he sends a text code, his home is going to be right on his phone. So these are the most powerful marketing plans for the listing presentation in the industry. All right. Absolutely the most powerful. One of our clients a few years back with EXP, but whether he was with EXP, that part doesn't matter. But he won the listing presentation of the year, and it was not even as good as what I'm going to show you because it was not as built out back then. All right. So you've got the presentation that one of our clients used, and he won the entire company listing presentation of the year. And I'm also going to share with you a few of the things and how he did that and what his process was, and also a lot of our other clients. One of the things that people love about this is it just makes your life so much easier. No Canva, no editing, no nothing. So let me show you. I go to add listing and I go to manual. Now for the listing presentation, I'm going to select the status listing presentation. You can do this, all right? And we do 4 trainings a week on expired. You can do the exact same thing. Down here, we have expired. You can do this for FSBO. You can do this for canceled. Although really, if they're canceled, you can just use expired. Nobody that's canceled and are going to really get the difference between expired and canceled. Most agents don't even know the difference probably. So, but we've got it. All right. And we're going to be adding probate to this here pretty soon. Although if anybody wants there's a little trick. You can do this for probate right now. It's really easy. But for today, we're focusing on listing presentation, and we're going to add the seller's name. So if you've got a listing presentation coming up, if somebody in your database responds and says, I would love to see a custom version, this is what you do. All right. So we're going to put their name. So Jason Coffee at gmail.com. And his phone number, I'm just making this up, of course. This is not really his email or phone number. Leave headline blank. All right. Point number 1, leave headline blank. Don't put anything there. Jason's street address, Maple Lane, Folsom, California. And I'm just going to put TBD. Now, I've actually got some filler text that I put here. I'll show you that. I'll give you access to that a little bit later. It's really, really powerful. You don't need to do anything. And then I'm just going to upload an image of Jason's home. So I'll show you some ways of getting an image. So let's just say that's the image of the home. And some people go take the image, they find it on Zillow, Google Maps, and I'll show you a great, great post I did last night in the mastermind group of the difference. So there, and we're done. I mean, how long did that take me? You would barely have had time to get into Canva and find the template you need and we're already done. We're just waiting for it to generate. Now you get a landing page. No, we're not going to use the landing page, but I just want to show you real quickly here. That's what the cover is going to look like. All right, that's the cover. Dawn, awesome question. Thank you. I'll show you both the mastermind group, the YouTube channel, in a little bit here. So make sure we don't get off this call until I do that. But there's a link to it right in your account, and I'll show that to you. So this is going to take about 1.5 minutes to produce. So we're going to come back to that. And in the meantime, we're going to go off and do a couple of quick things. Let me just open up in a new tab so I can leave that to generate. And for our mastermind group, click marketing calendar and go to resources And you're going to see right there, Facebook Mastermind Group. Oh, what did I do? Facebook Mastermind Group. Click join. Instagram, highly recommend going into our Instagram. Go through all of our stories. All right. In particular, there's a, let me see. There is the good stuff. Go through the good stuff. There's a lot of good stuff in here. Very, very powerful. And in fact, last night I did a post. So here's that pending home sales. So this video is in your, in fact, I'm glad I'm here. There's a couple of videos in your account, and check out this. Get the 100-point home marketing plan now. And they can, right from an Instagram story. I mean, look at that. So I'm using Instagram, just like that email. Remember the pending home sales email? So this video is inside of your Listings to Leads account. And Jason says, so are you walking the seller through this customized listing presentation laptop? You can do, people do both. They will print it up. So you print it up. I would print it up at your office or at home, and I can show you and bind it. I've had people just print it and put it into a folder. I have people, they present it on the laptop via the flip book. But it's nice to be able to print it, and I'll show you how to print it. And that way you can leave it behind. So they have a physical copy, just like this one. But then it's probably easier for them to go through the physical copy, and you do it via the flip book on your computer. Make sense? But I also want to share with you, right, all these other great ways of promoting it. All right. So these are just some other great ones. Let me see. I think there's another one that's relevant to what we're talking about today. And yeah, okay. Well, I would, again, yeah. So go through our Instagram. So again, Facebook Mastermind Group, Instagram, and our YouTube channel right here. And again, that's all under Marketing Calendar Resources. So take a look at that a little bit later. And so here's that listing we just added. And again, it's going to take about a minute and a half to generate. Check this out. So I got the flipbook version. Let me just bring it back to 100. So here's the flipbook. That's Jason's home. Jason, welcome to your new home. That's his address, 8459 Maple Lane, Folsom, California. All right. Check this out, though. There's my introduction. I'll show you where that is in a little bit. So I got an introduction on the left. Look at this. Every single image in here is of his home. I got the YouTube video, the print marketing. We saw the social media stuff previously. The nearby homeowner letter, the email marketing, database marketing, sphere of influence, short form videos, the listing websites, virtual tours, listing flyers. Look at this, 849 Maple Lane. Now, the lane is missing an E. I'll show you how to fix that if you want to. No one's going to even notice, but I'm still going to show you. Check this out. Can you imagine being that homeowner? And right, they might have the online version. And if you're presenting like this, I would kind of flip my computer around and I would show them, when you're on that page and they're kind of flipping through it. And if you haven't presented this yet in a listing presentation, I'm just telling you, the feedback from our clients is sellers they get so engrossed, right? And not to the point of like nitpicking and like, whatever, but where they're just like, wow, all the way through it. So like, for example, when I'm on this page here, right, and they're looking at that link, I might just swing my laptop a little bit so they can see it and say, yeah, check this out. Boom. Right. And they see, my God, the dude has everything dialed in here. All right. We're going to have Google Street View, maps, schools, print brochures, all my client reviews. They're going to see that right there. I mean, come on. They're going to see all my other listings. And then here, So, we're kind of role playing just a little bit here on the listing presentation itself. Everybody, let me make it bigger. And I want you to pull out your phones right now. Let me just make it bigger. Give me a second. I'm going to drag it. There we go. Now it's easier for everybody. So everybody pull out your phones right now while you're watching me. Scan that QR code. And look at that. Look at that. Some other agent's going to walk in with a beautiful little Canva about me presentation that's not interactive, that does not feature their home, that does not have text codes, QR codes, URLs already dialed in and ready to go. And you're going to come in and you are going to clean up. You are going to absolutely clean it up. Your life is a lot easier. You're going to be a lot more comfortable after the first time you use it, because you're going to see, my gosh, like I never knew a listing presentation could be so comfortable for me as an agent, because I'm not defending my commission so much. I'm not defending my value. I'm not trying to come up with showing and telling what I'm going to be doing. I've got a full plan that took me, like, I could have literally 5 minutes before I got to walk out. I could have literally 5 minutes before I walk out gone and don't do this. Do it a day ahead of time. All right. Don't be like my younger self. Always stressing myself out at the last minute. But my gosh, you are going to absolutely clean up. All right. Just listed, open house. So I'm going to come back to this in a second here, because I'm going to role play with you something really, really powerful on this. Here's my reviews right there. Again, they can, click that, and later, right, because they got the print version, they can scan the QR code. They can scan the QR code from their phone, or they can click right here and download a guide. And it's got Jason's name right there on the back cover, Jason's address. I mean, come on, you're kidding me. So real quickly, is anyone simply using a generic listing preview for all, just so we can print in bulk? Yeah, Jason, 100%. I mean, you totally can. In fact, you can order from us, and I'll show you a little bit later. So like the magazine, now it says expired on here, but you can order these, and people do, right? We call it the standard listing presentation on the order form, but I'm going to give you the link a little bit later. I can't believe it. Well, yeah, it's in the school classroom. So I'll show you this. People do. Yeah, people do. But at the same time, I think there's room for both, because these are just great. So for example, maybe I've got a seller lead and I want to send out a couple of these a week to some of the seller leads in my database who have not maybe raised their hand yet, but I've been in contact with them, and I sent them maybe a link to the online version via email, but then I want to put something together a little bit nicer, but I don't want to have to print out the whole thing and everything like that. So yeah, there's a place for both. There's definitely a place for both. Printing it yourself, again, because if I got a listing presentation that's a luxury where I want to do this, it's good for that. But at the same time, to your point, it's great to have some of these laying around, so that when I meet someone, I can be very comfortable and just say, hey, I know you're not thinking about selling right now, but let me just give you my 100 plus point home marketing plan, so you can just have a copy, so that when you are ready, you'll have it available. See what I'm saying? So great question, because again, you do want to have the you want to be able to do both, because different situations are going to come up where having this one here is going to be perfect, but then also being able to print out like what I'm doing here is going to be perfect. Okay, so let's just go through a little bit of strategy, and then I want to go through something else here. Now, this is just from one person, so not everyone does this. You don't have to do it, but I'm just going to give you one idea. Have your notebook, right? Or a piece of paper with a pen. probably before the listing presentation even comes up, you're going to know when are they thinking about, like, when do they want to be, what is going on, right? So you're typically going to know, for example, they have a home in Folsom, they want to sell it because they got a job transfer, they want to be by their kids, they are downsizing, whatever it is. If they have a date in mind, so let's say right now it is what, March 4th, March 5th, March 5th, perfect. And let's say they want to be in Florida by you know June 1st, right? They got grandkids are going to be out of school. I'm just making this up. Every situation is going to be different. But so June 1st they want to be out. So we're going to write down, and I'm going to do this just so, because it'll help me as I'm talking, remember where I'm at. So I've got a piece of paper, right? Piece of paper and a pen. You see the pen and a piece of paper. And I'm going to write down on the bottom, towards the bottom, right? COE, or move out by June 1st, 2026. Okay, great. And then what we're going to do is we're going to work our way backwards. And this will make sense here. In fact, hold on a second. So I apologize. Let's back up a little bit. So when you're going through this part of it right here, this part, whether you're the physical version, the print version, or the online version, you don't need to over talk it. You don't need to overthink it. You just introduce it. This is my marketing plan to get your home sold. And as you can see here, we're going to create a full marketing plan around your home so that we can market it via social media and all the other platforms. So here's an example of paid Facebook ads and Instagram. We're going to be doing social media marketing. We'll also be doing on YouTube. We do great YouTube videos. And if you do, for example, a custom, like more professional video, mention that as well. And you could even have another slick, right, where you bring as well for that. We do print marketing because we want to make sure that all the neighbors know that your home is for sale, because a lot of times they may know someone that would love to buy in the area. We're also going to be doing email marketing. We've got a database of 250 people, and we're going to make sure that they all know about your home. And so we got a beautiful email that's going to link to the single property website that you're going to see here in a little bit, right? So again, and we're also going to be calling through some of the VIPs in our database. In addition to sending them the email, we got some tools for your sphere of influence, because a lot of the times you likely know somebody who knows somebody that would love to move into the area. So we got some tools that will allow you to share that to your friends and family as well. We'll be doing short form videos. We got the most beautiful mobile responsive full screen property websites dedicated to your home. And we got beautiful listing flyers. And in fact, why don't you go ahead and click on that link right there, or scan the QR code on the next page there. Boom. Their property, they're looking at their home right now. Whether they scan, if they're looking at the online version, they click, whatever, they're now looking at their home. If they tell you, I don't know how to scan a QR, like, what? And JJ, who's on our website, and I'll show you the video a little later, JJ was like, half the people she deals with, a lot older. And so they're like, what do you mean scan the QR code? She uses that as a value add, as a kind of a get to know you and, have a little fun kind of a thing. And so she'll pull out her phone. And so she'll say, get your phone. Let me just show you how this works. So this is very popular, especially after COVID, right? And so she'll, have them pull up their photo, and she'll do it with them. And then she'll show them, and they'll be amazed. And then they do it, and they're even more amazed because they're looking at their home. And now, if they did know how to do it, that's good enough. That's mind blowing. But to be able to help them through it it's even better. It's even better. So don't get kind of stuck when others get stuck. Use that as a way to show your value and your helpfulness. We want to be helpful, and that allows us. So anyways, we got mobile marketing, and as you saw previously, we got the QR codes that are great, right? We're going to be all over different marketing channels multiple times. And so, our marketing, as you can see, is top notch. Now, now notice I'm at coming soon. I like to leave coming soon, even if I don't do coming soon. And the reason is I will use this sheet here, this page coming soon, to walk through all the different things that we're going to do before we actually list your property. So, for example, it might be during the coming soon phase, what we do is we get all the professional photos done, we get the videos done that we're going to do, we get all the marketing dialed in even better, and we make sure that it's perfect for getting found on all the major websites. We might do a little bit of light staging and cleanup just to make sure when buyers walk through that they see your home in its best light. Make sure all the toilet seats are down. Okay. So you get the point, right? For coming soon, even if I don't actually actively do a coming soon marketing status, I still use coming soon as to share all of these things that I'm going to be doing. All right. And then I say, so I understand that you want to be out by June 1st. That's correct. Okay. And they're going to go, yeah, we want to, sometime in early June, we want to be out because, yeah, our kids. All right. Wonderful. That's great. So, and you write down June 1st on the page. And then you go, so June 1st, that's perfect. So that means we are going to want to be in contract at the latest by May 1st, because typically it's, 30 days close of escrow. And, if you want to build in a little bit of like an extra week because of something weird, in your area, if you feel appropriate, say 5 weeks and adjust your dates. And I'm writing this on. So, okay. So, May 1st. Okay, perfect. Uh, you know, Average days on market in the area in total is 53 days. For homes in your area, though, it's 47 days. And if we price it right and we get buyers competing for your home because we price it right and we possibly are able to even get counter offers and get you an even stronger price for your home, we might be able to do, I would, as a, I'm not promising, this is nothing we can promise, but I would think that the days on market is going to be somewhere around 30 days on the outside. Obviously, we're going to try to get it sold within 7 days. But as a professional, I want you just to understand the current market dynamics. All right. Phrase that however you want to. And so I'm writing this down now. So I'm going to back up. So from May 1st, so April 1st, March 15th. So that means March 15th, 2026, we're going to want to go to market. Does that make sense? Right. And as you're writing down each of these days, ask them, does that make sense? And they're going to go, yes. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, okay, great. Right. Because they agree to the June 1st. They're going to agree to the escrow time period. All right. And they're nodding. They're going to agree to what you just said related to days on market. Okay. So that's March 15th. Okay, that's great. And then, making sure we got photographs and we got everything scheduled. If you do pre-inspections, or we're going to do a little bit of, yard cleanup, and we're going to do the coming soon stuff. So, I like to have at least a week, but if we really want to make sure that we hit the market as strong and hard and as powerful as possible, 8 to 10 days would really be perfect. That way we're not rushing, you're not rushing, right? You're comfortable. We're going to walk you through everything. So, that would be March 5th. And that's today. And as you can see, I'm ready to go. And so again, here you can see we got just listed, right? And so just listed, that would be March 15th. Coming soon would start ASAP, so we can get everything dialed in. On March 15th, we'll start the just listed, and that's when your home will hit the market. We'll do an open house on the 18th, and we will look to try and take offers on the Monday after the open house, so that we give enough people a chance so that we can hopefully get multiple offers, because we're going to price your home properly, all right, so that we attract the most buyers, not scare them away. And then if we don't get a offer on the Monday the 18th, then we'll keep marketing your property as active. And then once we get an offer that you ratify that is accepted, then your home will be pending. But we do not stop marketing your home just because we got an offer. We are going to keep marketing your home until either the contingencies are all removed and the buyer is legally obligated to close, or we actually close. So we don't stop marketing your home just because we got an offer. And then we're going to get your home sold. So I'm excited for you. And I'm telling you, by then, they're just going to be nodding and nodding and nodding. You're going to have the listing agreement and you're going to be ready to go. All right. When you talk about days on market, is that days to be simply no, days under contract would be the escrow, right? So, once the listing goes from like pending to sold, that's the escrow. And then days on market is going to be, from the time it's listed to the time an offer is ratified. Make sense? Yep. Yeah, Matt, send it to me later. Links don't work. Like I can't click links here. But yeah, send it to me later. I'd love to take a look at it. All right, everybody comfortable with with presenting? Now, here's another thing. There is an email that's automatically prepared for you. VIP buyer access. A new listing might be yours before anyone knows. This is an email that you can either send through Listings to Leads or just copy it and drop it into your CRM and send this out. A, it's just another great touch point with your database. B, it shows that you've got access to homes potentially that nobody else even knows about. So this email is so powerful. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. Again, I can either just copy it and paste it right into my CRM and send it out. Here's the subject line. And if I've got leads and Listings to Leads I want to send it to, I can send it through here as well. All right, makes sense? Cool. So get the email out. Next, you've got the downloadable PDF. So that's what you're going to download if you want to print this up. So again, that they have a copy. I want them to have a copy, right? Whether it's the standard one, like you can order from us, that's not their home, but it's still better than anything anybody else is doing. Or you want, again, then you can download this again so you can print it. Hope that makes sense. I feel like I butchered that a little bit, but anyways. And I tell you, some people even come in here and they will show, depends how comfortable you are, but they'll show the homeowner, like, listen, I've got everything here ready to go. Now, I'm not going to use this photo to market your home, but I just want you to see I've got everything dialed in for your home to get going right now. I could literally right now, I mean, if you like this picture, I could use this picture. But don't even say that. All right. You want to have professional photos. But, again, we've got clients that literally, now you don't have to do this. You don't need to. Again, don't sell past the close. That's one thing I tell people sometimes is, we're all a little guilty of it. We get nervous. We get a little bit, a little anxious, and we just don't stop talking. But if you got someone that's a little bit more technical or a little bit more process oriented, and you want to show them this, right, here's my open house sign-in form. Here's all the great listing flyers I've got. All right, sign writers, Craigslist, QR codes, right, all the whole 9 yards. But again, I would be careful of that. But again, I know people that do. What else am I missing here? What else am I missing? So I do want to do a couple of things. Any questions? Any questions on anything so far that is not clear? Oh, introduction. There's actually a few other things here. So introduction. Yeah, you know what? Actually, I'll show you something here. So under listing presentation, there we go. Listing presentation. So there's a tab right here, right next to listing called listing presentation. go to listing presentation print, and there's 3 things in particular I want to share with you here. One, your introduction. So this is the introduction where I can copy and paste into here. 2, home selling process outline. This is phenomenal. I would print and include this as part of the package. This is great as well. All right. So again, this is talking about, the whole process of selling a home. Really, really powerful. Really, really good to have. And the last, this is just the downloadable version of the general one. So I'm not going to use this you can, I know people that do. But again, when I'm in a listing presentation, I want to have the one that's custom to their home. But again, this is still 90%, 95% better than anything anybody else is doing, if not 98%. In fact, let me show you something really cool. So again, pay attention because it's a little bit weird. I understand that, but it's very powerful. When you click download PDF, here I can select any listing in my account to populate that presentation. So you may have, for example, a really awesome sold listing. And, if you want to add, like if you got like your, what you would call your premiere, or what you like to show off to people, like, man, this was it. Like, this is such a great listing. I sold it in 23 days and we got multiple offers, right? However you want to, do. You can just select it from the drop down and then hit download. It's going to regenerate. So it'll take about a minute and a half to regenerate the entire thing. And then when I use this one, all right, this version, and here's the flip book of it, it will be of that listing I selected. Now we've got demo photos. You're going to be fine if you don't do this, but you can populate this with another listing in your account. Does that make sense for everybody? Right? So is that understandable? And it's essentially the same thing as the other one. Now, it doesn't have their home on the cover or inside. It doesn't have their name. It won't have their address on the cover, but it is still super powerful. I mean, it's still amazing. Yeah. Actually, Matt, get into the mastermind group. There was a post in there not too long ago. Some people were talking about that because, 278 days. One of the things I would do, for example, and I did this last night. Let me bring this up real quickly, and then I'll show you some examples. So give me a second. I did this for a client, and I hope she didn't get mad, but I'm going to show you. If she hasn't even seen it, I posted it in, check this out. So one of the things you can do is every couple of days, just grab a photo of the property and just throw it up on TikTok, throw it up on Instagram stories. Instagram and TikTok are great because they are, it's not your database. And so people aren't going to get annoyed with you. And I could, if I did even if it's the same listing, as long as I'm showing different views of that listing, put a link to the property website. All right. Put a link to the property website in there, because when someone's on Zillow or Trulia or Realtor.com or an IDX search, they're only getting listings that are in that area. Now, they may be looking at an area that has a similar buyer profile to your listings area, but they don't have it in their search because maybe they don't know about it, or their agent just didn't set them up for it. So then they're never going to see that listing necessarily. And if I start popping off different Instagram stories, it can get seen by a lot of people that are not necessarily looking at particular areas. So that's one way, is really leverage Instagram. And in fact, I'll show you, if I go to a listing, but I want to make sure, to stay a little bit on point here. So if anyone's got any questions, let me know. Right. So there's that listing that we just did. And In fact, I'm going to click. So that listing of yours, Matt, is probably active. And if I go to active, click on it where it says step-by-step guide, click learn more and scroll down. And there's more examples because, after a while, ads are just going to start nosediving. You can't do ads probably for more than 2 to 3 weeks. Now 278 days, maybe a month later you can run another week or two of ads, and then give it a month, run another week or two of ads. Now that gets a little bit tiring after a while, but Instagram, Facebook stories are completely free. And just to give you an example, a lot of people think I got to do something crazy. No, you don't. This is just the downloadable Facebook template from Listings to Leads. View photos, learn more. All right. The idea is just show different looks, right? Just a picture of the kitchen. All right. Link to the property website. Show just a little pan and zoom of the front. Link to the property website. Right? Just a little 5-second, 10-second kind of a walkthrough video of the main living area. Link to the property website. And so every couple of days you can do that, and just really just kind of keep that thing out there. Now, that's also going to be really good for the homeowner because, again, some of these homeowners don't want to do a price reduction. One of the things I'll tell you, John Summers, I give that guy a lot of credit. Newish agent, been in the market for about industry for about a year and a half. Used the expired version of the listing presentation. In fact, I'm holding the exact one he used, and he connected with got so there's a expired listing, $925,000. That would be low luxury for his area. Low to entry level luxury in his area. The owner did not want to reduce the price. And I give John all the credit because he would not take the listing. But here's the deal. The homeowner really loved the marketing, and it gave John a lot of credibility because the owner was like, you've got something my other agent never had. He goes, this is amazing. It makes you look professional. It makes you look organized. It makes you look trustworthy. It's transparent. It's interactive. So I can see the property website and I can see how amazing this is. And he kept trying to get John to go down in price. And John was like, listen, I'm not doing you any favors by taking a listing and making you think I can, the market will do this. What we can do is, and so what John, let me just a little bit cut to the chase here. Every week, John would just send him an email. And not every week, every time there was like a new pending or sold listing, John would send it to him and say, hey, this home in the same neighborhood just went into contract or just sold. Here was the list price. Here's how it compares to your home. And again, that's why I'm telling you, we need to list your price at X. And it took about 2 weeks of that. No, I'm sorry, about a month. So I think there was like four or 5 emails John said that he sent them. And again, to John's credit, he didn't give up on the guy. What John did is he used it as a education for both himself as an agent, but also for the homeowner as well. And I think after like the 3rd or 4th week, the homeowner came back to him and said, you know what? I get it. I trust you. Let's do it. And he got the home in contract, I think in 5 or 7 days. Yeah. Yeah. But it's not really a market report, Matt, because a market report can feel a little bit like my home is better. My home is different. Your market report, my home is special. All right. So John was, again, watching the listings going into contract, watching listings that were selling, closed in escrow. And so it wasn't really a market report. It was more of a, like I said, hey, this home just went into contract. This home just sold. Here's, it's I'm just making this up. It's 4,200 square feet versus your 38. It's got an updated kitchen and yours is what wasn't updated. Now it's got a bit of a smaller backyard compared to yours. So he would be honest about it, but a professional, so they could understand, listen, your home didn't sell the first time. Right now, my marketing, the goal of the marketing and pricing it right is to get as many strong offers as possible, so that we can, hopefully we get maybe a couple of offers that if you feel the need to counter, we at least get one back at a stronger price point for you. All right. Now, if I had a listing that was on the market for 278 days, I would start. If you ever, do you ever take a writing class in college? I don't know if anybody ever did this. And sometimes maybe in high school you do this. Write 500 words describing the head of a pen, or the tip of a pencil. So I want, and don't use AI. I know you can do an AI in 5 seconds. I want you to write me an essay on your own describing the tip of this pen, and I want 500 words. And what does that do? That gets you thinking. That gets you, you get imaginative, and you get like, holy, I'm going to get an F if I don't figure this out. Take that same idea to what we're talking about right here. In fact, did I put that link in? Hold on a second. Here's the link. And yeah, Matt. So there you go. Yeah, a snapshot. Right. But I don't want to just rely on a snapshot to do my work, because again, I want to be, and I think that's where John really did well, was got the couple as a husband and wife, got both of them bought into his marketing plan. They liked him, they trusted him as an individual. And then it wasn't like just letting a program send out stuff. I think it was him. So they knew they were dealing with him, not a program. Now you can have the market snapshot maybe set up for you, and then you, right, add your analysis to it. It's not a 3-hour thing. It should take just 2 or 3 minutes, right? But you take a look at it. You already know their home. You put a couple of lines, and I think also the way John told me was, I'm not trying to convince him. So it wasn't like, oh my God, you're an idiot. Da, 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 da. No, it was just like, hey, I'm keeping in contact. Hey, want to stay in touch with you. Here's another home that just sold. Like I said earlier. Now, one of the things I would be thinking about is take the property off market, right, and really have a heart to heart with that seller and say, listen, obviously it's not going to sell at this price point. And I would show him, and I might even create this for him if you haven't yet. Right, I might create this for him, with his home, and say, listen, this is one of the strongest marketing plans in the industry. In addition, I do all of these other things, right? Whatever else that you're doing, right? We have got every agent in our office. I've connected with other agents in the area, right, that have buyers. And so we have done everything that we can. Sometimes taking it off market for 30 days, getting new pictures, and then coming in, right? And again, I know it's easier said than done. And I think that's where this other idea of doing the market snapshot thing first, maybe for a few weeks. And so you can kind of, again, don't do it in a way of, criticizing or trying to make them feel bad. Just absolute impartiality. I'm a professional. It's like a doctor talking to a patient, right? I'm not judging you. I'm just sharing with you professional information. Scott, when we first met, and I've been in construction a long time, the guy goes, I just want to know I'm an alpha. Did not need to tell you there. Yeah. No, dude. Hey, sometimes it's just going to be that way. Sometimes we take these listings and we wish we would have never met the person. And sometimes at the end it works out because they respect you so much that they become a complete advocate, and it becomes great. But you still have to go through the needles, right? All right, did I put this link in yet? So that is our post webinar survey. Would absolutely love everyone to fill that out. Let me know, what's up. Let me know, what you got from this and how we can get better. And I'm going to be posting this in the mastermind group. I had no chance to get to this yet. John, oh yeah, John, 1 second here. Thank you for that. 1 second. I'm going to put the link to our school classroom. So 1 second. And John, I'm going to put the direct link for that. It's under expired for right now. Order presentation booklets. Let me see. Nope. Hold on 1 second. Let me get the right link for you. 1 second. Blog. And if I just type in order, in fact, let me do something else. Let me just click on the category expired FSBO. Let me see if it's under here. It should be. Expired. Of course it's not. All right. I'll add it there, but I'll give you the link here. Okay. So here's the order page. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to order the setup, and then we add that listing to your account like I showed you a little earlier. We'll come up with an image. In fact, I'll show you something really cool here in a second. But there's the link right there. Did I put it in the mastermind group? I wonder if I did. Oh, I don't think I did. Hold on a second. I'll show you something kind of cool. This is one of the things that we do. But it's kind of cool because sometimes it's just good to be able to do it yourself. And I'm on my other monitor in Chat GPT. So give me a second here. Let me see if I can find what I'm looking for. Yes, got it. Okay. So here's a couple things. So for example, when I'm adding a listing presentation, right, I'm adding their home. This was literally the original image that the agent loaded up for her listing presentation. So she uploads this photo, and I just happened to somehow see it. I don't even know how I saw it, but I saw it, and I was like, wait. And all I did is I just threw that into Chat GPT, and all I said was just make this look better. Looks a bit blurry, but do not change anything as far as the home landscaping, etc. Give it a blue sky as if it was shot by a professional photographer. You don't need no overly complicated prompt, right? You're a 20-year photography. No, just seriously, that's all you got to do, right? And that's what it gave me. I mean, come on, right? Isn't that awesome? Here's another one. Now, I know we like the idea of Twilight. This is not Twilight. This is just poorly exposed. All right. So this is too dark is what this is. So again, I saw this photo, and in fact, we were creating this for somebody, and that was one of the listing photos they had. And I was like, oh, that's it's a great home, but it's just a crappy photo. And there again, here's my expert prompt. I'm saying that facetiously. Can I get this, but a bit nicer on a beautiful time of day for my real estate marketing? Should be appropriate for the Orlando, because it's a home in Orlando real estate market. And like 30 seconds later, that's what it gave me. Because these are not homes I'm using in the MLS. These are not homes, right, I'm putting on Realtor.com and on Zillow. These are just images for me to create a gorgeous presentation. That's it. All right. Yeah, Gemini completely. Yep. I use Gemini. I use Chat. I use Claude sometimes. Here's another one. So now this is a little bit different. So this is one that we were doing for a client, and this was the home. So this home is actually on market. So this is an actual listing photo. It looks kind of scary. So, again, this is an agent photo. Obviously, it's not professional, but we needed to we were creating these for the client. And I love doing these photos. It's just I find it kind of relaxing, to be honest with you. And so I found an image of a property in his area, and then I said, "This is a current real estate listing. I want to use it as a reference, only as a reference, to create a unique photo for my real estate marketing in the greater Boston area." And then I say, "Please change the color, the landscaping, the yard, the windows, the trees, so that it is totally unique photo, but still recognizable as a home in the area by locals. Thank you." I'm so polite to the AI. We never know when they're going to come after us. And then I said, "Change the roof line and anything else as needed." Because I just want to make sure that if the homeowner, the listing agent, anybody saw this photo that is completely unique, all right, they would never recognize it. They could look at this photo and go, "Yeah, that looks a little bit similar to ours." But it's complete. No, the windows are different, the doors are different, the garage is different. Um, I might actually change out the tree a little bit in the back, to be a little bit more different, because the only thing that's a little bit too similar are those trees right in the background. But otherwise, right, it's pretty. I mean, the trees are different enough, right? Look at they got this, like, it looks like an old birch tree maybe, and then in this one, it's like whatever oak or maple. I'm so bad at trees. I'm probably embarrassing myself. So that is a completely different tree, but I might just alter that tree line just a touch. Um, yeah, as a probate pick, right? Here's another example. So here's a photo that a client wanted to use, right? It was an expired home in her area. And all I said was, just take out the cars and make the lighting perfect, because it's a little overexposed. So I said, take these cars out and make the lighting really good. Don't change anything else, right? And gave me that one. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of a weird looking home, but yeah, whatever. Yeah. Here's another one. So this is from somewhere. I don't know where this was from. But look at that. Look how blurry that is. That's not anything I want to be putting in my marketing. And boom, that's what I just said. Again, can you redo this as a high res for my real estate marketing? The original is too pixelated, and now I got a really nice looking home with, again, the homeowner is going to go, "Oh wow, what a great photo." And I do that from Google Earth all the time, because you'll take a photo from Google Maps of the property sometimes. So, you look up the property on Google, go to Google Maps, right? A street view, get a photo. And it's never perfect, because there's going to be garbage cans, cars in the driveway, overexposed, underexposed, maybe it's blurry, whatever. And so I'll take it and then I'll throw it into chat, just like the one previous with the cars in the driveway, and just ask it. And I'll try to say, keep everything the exact same, except take the cars out and do perfect lighting so I can use it in my real estate marketing. And it works out pretty well. Cool. Anything else last minute before we go? Sorry to keep everybody for so long. Yeah. Anything else? Are we good? Would love to have you fill out that post webinar survey. It really means a lot to me. I always enjoy reading them and hearing your comments. I mean, again, it means a lot, because I'm not here to talk and hear myself talk. I'm here to give you actionable items. And there's a lot to this topic. So, get into the mastermind group. There's a lot of ways to market this on Facebook. And so we can talk about that more in the mastermind group as needed. All right. Thanks everybody for being with me for this hour and 14 minutes. We'll talk to you soon.